Okay, so today I want to continue. We got a couple of approvals, so I wanted to continue with the t-shirt design. So there's a few things that I need to put together, and we need to open up Affinity Designer. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. That would be awesome. I would certainly appreciate it. And two, these principles will work in any drawing application. So you don't have to use Affinity. Anything that you can draw lines and shapes and you can erase or mask. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and open up a new doc. We are going to be doing a t-shirt design, so we know that's 11 by 11. I don't like to go edge to edge, so I'm gonna go 10 by 11 inches. And for this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and put in guides. Then we're gonna go back to this video and we're gonna take a look at some of these designs. I believe it was under lettering, and I believe the design was here. We originally liked this design as a inspiration, so let's go ahead and do an Alt print screen because I don't want to keep this. Otherwise, I would do a Windows print screen. We're not going to need the logo right away, so I'm going to hold off on that. So I talked to the marketing director, and she gave me some direction on some of this language. We came up with this language. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. And I know that their font is Roboto. Links are in the description for Google Fonts Roboto if you don't have it. I did a few videos back on how to install it. So we'll go ahead and start with that. And we will need the logo. It's not going to be the centerpiece of this design. The centerpiece of this design is going to be that language. So we'll just put this up here. So the last thing we're going to need is to get our colors for this design. So let's go ahead and copy this red because this is going to be our foundation color. And let's go ahead and put that in Coolors. Okay, so we'll do Alt print screen and we will paste it in. And if you're new to the channel, I like to create an assets group in all of my designs. I just gather everything that I'm going to need and I put it all in one place, create an assets folder so I have it on hand. So I wanted to do something like this design and make it a little larger. Okay, but I wanted to make it a little bit more grungy. So I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my guides. So I'm going to grab my brush tool and I'm going to look for brushes. And I'm not a big brush user, so I'm not really sure which one is going to work for me, which one isn't. Let's start with watercolors and let's see what we get. This looks kind of grungy. Okay, let's take a look at that. Now, to make your brush bigger, you left bracket reduces it, right bracket makes it larger. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's turn on our assets and let's grab our first color, which we know is the red. Okay, now I don't know. Yep, that's gonna work. So we'll go ahead and do something like that. Okay, cool. And we can start brushing in our idea. So I just wanna do something like that, Okay, I'm gonna stick with these two. Okay, we'll do a Control C, Control V. I even like that. Doubling up on it. Okay, so we have our 4 lines that we want to get started with, and let's start changing the colors. So I want the red in the middle, so maybe we can start with the purple on top. So grab this one will stay red, this one will switch to blue, and this one we will go to, let's try this. Let's go to the green. Okay, I like that a little better. So let's figure out a size. So let's fix one and figure out a size here. And what size was this? I want to bring this down a smidge and I want to bring in the tracking. So I want to go -40. So this will be -40. We'll go ahead and make this 42, -40 on the tracking, and we'll do 42 on that. We'll do black font weight, -40 on the tracking, and we will turn all of these in white. And that is not giving me what I was hoping I was going to get out of this. So let's do this. Grab our lines. Let's center those up. So I've centered everything up. Let's turn off our guides. Let's throw the logo on there. Control C. See, this is just not going to look good. I mean, no matter what we do with this, we have a major clash of ideas here. And to get this design to work, I would have to redo the whole logo. And maybe, maybe we could try that. But I'm not sure that the font is going to work. So what I'm thinking is I would have to do the logo in these kinds of colors. So let's go ahead and give that a whirl. Okay, so let's grab this red, because we know we like this red already. And let's reuse it. And I did like these doubled up. Control J, and the purple is Control J. And let's go ahead and group these swatches. Call them swatches. And we'll group this all up. Control G. Now, what we can do here is let's go ahead and grab this red, Control J it again, and we'll pull it out of the group, bring it up here where the logo is, and we'll bring it down like that. So we will take our red, okay, and what I want to do is, let's go ahead and turn it off. I want to put it inside these mountains to get this kind of a blotchy feel. So what we need to do is we need to take all of our red shapes and we need to do an add. We need to make them all one. So now they're all one shape. So what we can do now is we can take this red and now we can create a mask here. See how you put it in between? You've got the shape, and then you've got that blue dash, and then it says curve. That will create a mask. I don't like how stretched out it is. So I'm gonna move this to see if I can't get more grunge out of it without losing the integrity of those mountains. Although it is giving me kind of a snowy look on the mountain. Okay, and now we will do the same with the green. We will Control J that, bring it up here, and we will do it to the gray. So you put it right there and put it in there. And I think we can squish this up too. So that kind of gives me what I want. And at least the logo is kind of matching, but it's also missing some elements here. And I'm not sure. It looks a little bland. And it looks, my concern is I don't want to look like it's made for kids and not adults, because this is a college and I want people to wear the shirt and it looks like something they would buy for their child. So that's my concern. I want it to look loose, but I don't want it to look childish. So that's kind of what I was looking for as far as the design goes. I don't know if she's gonna like this. As you can see, I'm fighting with it left and right here. I'm trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. And so, I do dig the logo a little bit. I think we can do something with that. But the rest of this, it just looks like paint swatches. And this is not an art school. This is a technical college. And this is the first time we're going to roll out this tagline. So we want it to have an impact. So I'm going to save this just untitled. I'm just going to save it as untitled. So what I need to do is I need to come over here so I go to vector stock, and I use vector stock a lot. And what I did is I went ahead and pulled up, I did some research and I found this. And I really liked this because not only is it a college, it's a technical college. So I went ahead and I purchased it. Go back to Affinity Designer. So let's create a new doc. And we know that we want to do it 10 by 11 because I don't like to go edge to edge. And we are going to need this lettering, Control C, Control V, and I will switch those to black so we can see them. And I will put them off the canvas for now. Let's go ahead and bring in our asset. I'm going to use the EPS for now. And the reason I say that this is a technical college is that this design looks a little bit more technical to me than the previous design. Now, that's not to say that we can't have fun with the logo and getting that brushed look later on. I'm going to get rid of all the stuff I don't want in this design, which is pretty much that right there. And then this one here, I want to do a Control X, and I want to find this one, and I want to do a Control V, okay, and it's right here, and that's the other one, and I'm going to put it underneath, and I'm going to replicate this kind of a look because this one's kind of off by itself. So I'm just going to scoot that over like that. I'm also going to get rid of the background. I don't need that background because these are all going to be, I'm going to make them the color of the college, we're going to use the college colors. We turn that on its side, and I'm going to do a Control and a Shift, and I'm going to make it larger, but not too large. I think a lot of mistakes that designers make is they make things too large for their medium. I grabbed the top curve right here, okay? I'm gonna hold down Shift, scroll down to the bottom, hold down Shift, and I'm gonna grab this curve, and it selects all of them, and I'm gonna do a Control G, and that will group them, and we'll take it out of the layer, and we'll get rid of the layer. I can size it as a group, I can move it as a group. I think this is a good first start. So now we can go ahead and do a Control C, and we can actually put it on our, now that we've grouped it all up, now we can make it t-shirt size. I want to bring in the logo, Control V. I'm gonna hold Shift, and I'm just gonna bring it down for now, down here, and we'll bring it into play. And our text is over here, so we'll put that above everything. We'll grab all of this and the logo, and we'll group that, call it logo. And inside our text, we want enroll on the top. Okay, learn second. Okay, so enroll comes in here. Okay, and I want to switch it to white, and it's a little big. So let's first of all turn it, because what we want to do is we want to match that line right there. So let's just turn it and just eyeball it for now. And then we'll bring it down to make it fit nicely. So let's just do a 48, and we will check the, I want to do a -60 on the tracking. So let's bring that in. See, I like that. That's nice. And then we can grab learn, and learn can go here. And this is 48. So let's drop this down to a -60 on the tracking and 48 point on the size. And it is Roboto black, so it's heavy. And we will change that to white. We'll grab learn, make sure that we're even on the line. Okay, it's not bad. Let's turn off our guides. It's actually hurting us here. Scroll out, take a look at that. Okay, and then we have this last box down here, and I'm gonna do a Control J on grow, and I'm going to make it select it all. And let's drop this down to a 27, and that's already a -60. And we'll just arrow that into place using our arrows. Okay, that looks pretty good. We still have that similar idea of text in a series of boxes that we liked from the original design. But this looks a little more rounded, like the logo is a little more rounded. And it's not so childish looking like crayons or paint splotches. And our text has a lot of space. So I think we'll start here, and we will switch this to this color red. Okay, and we'll switch, well, we will need to switch all of these lines. And let's go ahead and see if we can't grab all of those. And I believe those are all gonna be the gray. So let's grab this gray and make those lines gray. There we go. Okay, and let's grab all of these. So wherever you see the light color over here on the layers, I've highlighted all of those. I can make those the gray as well. And we can scroll up to the top. We can grab all these light colors, switch those to the gray. This one is light colored, switch that to the gray. And then all the dark color, we can switch to the red, including this one. We'll switch that to the red. And let's grab our lines. Let's go all the way down to here, and we'll switch those to the gray. Okay, and now we can switch our font to, I think we're gonna need to do white. I think it'll pop more on each one of them. So let's just start with white, and let's deal with the logo here, because I know we're gonna wanna make it bigger. So let's grab the whole thing, hold Shift to constrain it. I don't want it to be overpowering, but I want it to be a presence. And the other thing is that you are dealing with a t-shirt, so you can put larger gaps in between. And what I mean by that is that if this were a flyer, I'd want this tucked up right here. I'd want this tucked up right there, and then I'd want that drop down. And see, that looks good on a printed page, okay? But because it's a t-shirt, you can give it a little bit more room than you normally would, and it looks right on the t-shirt. Otherwise, it looks too crowded and too cramped. So I'm gonna bring this down a smidge. See, I like that. Okay. Now here, there's one other thing that it's missing. So right now, this looks pretty good, but it looks like a couple of pieces that are trying to fit together. Now here's a little pro tip too, and I did this back in the day a lot with letterhead. And so it may be a little dated, but it does still work as a graphic element. So I duplicated the logo, okay, and I'm gonna pull it out of the group. I'm gonna put it on its own layer, and I'm gonna move it to the bottom, and I'm gonna open it up, and I'm gonna turn all of these into add, so they become one, and I'm going to pull it out of the group because I don't need the group anymore. And I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to make it huge. And I'm going to put that right there. Now, doesn't that look good? Doesn't that just bring the whole design together? You're probably screaming at me, no, what are you doing? Oh, relax. I've got you covered. So we'll switch it to the gray. Now, doesn't that look good? Okay. And let's drop it down to a 7. Boom. Now it ties it all together. In fact, they may have to take it up to a 10 because 7% may not register. It depends on your screen printer. All right, so I think we have a winner chicken dinner here. And I'm much happier with this than I was with the first one. The first one was it just wasn't working, but we did get the logo out of that, and I'm probably going to make a design out of that, and I'm probably going to present that. So it wasn't a complete loss. Okay, well, I'm really happy with this one. This one worked out really nice, and let that resonate. You know, you're not going to necessarily nail it out of the first try. Sometimes you're not going to get it, so that's okay. This one turned out really nice. I'm a lot happier with this one than I was with the previous design. Those splotches, although they looked cool, they just didn't fit what we were trying to accomplish with this design. So anyway, I really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. I hope you learned something. And until next time, thanks for stopping by and you have a great day. All right, take care.